In the SEO world, there has been a trend lately. Impressions are going up, but website traffic is going down. And a big reason for this is the AI overviews and AI searches. This means that people are seeing your content, but they're not actually clicking through to your website. So it's no longer about just optimizing your content for Google. You now need to optimize your content for AI. And that all first starts with understanding how your content actually shows up in AI answers and where it doesn't. And if you're not tracking this already, you need to start doing this now. And to help with this, Semrush created their AI Visibility Toolkit. And this is all to help you see how AI is impacting your brand and how you can show up in more places. Now, specifically with the AI Visibility Toolkit, you can see how often your brand appears in AI generated answers and how you compare against competitors. Understand AI-driven sentiment and perception around your brand. Discover the prompts and topics that people are using so you know exactly what to target. You'll be able to track your daily visibility for the prompts that matter most to your business. You'll also be able to identify technical issues that might be preventing AI systems from reading your content and see where competitors are winning so you can spot gaps and new opportunities. And you'll be able to turn all of this AI data into clean, shareable reports. So I want to take you inside the AI Visibility Toolkit to show you step by step how you use the reports within this tool to gather the right information so you know exactly how to start appearing more in AI searches and answers. Thank you to Semrush for sponsoring this video. To access the AI Visibility Toolkit, we will head to the left-hand navigation bar to the AI section here, and clicking on this will expand all of the reports that we will now have access to here. So the first thing that we want to do is go ahead and get a high-level benchmark with this AI Visibility Overview. So to do this, we will pop in our URL and click on Check AI Visibility. Now, this is giving us a snapshot of our brand's overall presence in AI search. So this is really giving us a single place to come and see all of our key metrics here. Now, the first thing that you will notice at the top of the report is the brand's AI visibility score, which is a number based out of 100, with a higher number being the better number. So this does not have a great score at only 15 out of 100. As you can see below, it says it is rarely mentioned in LLM output. So there is definitely work that needs to be done here. We want to get this where we can have more green color here than orange, so it's showing a stronger presence here. Now, we will notice here that we have the monthly audience, and this is really an estimate of the total query audience across all the topics where your particular brand appears, so that we can see how much exposure we really have. Now, mentions is also good because this tells us the number of prompts where your brand actually appears in the generated answer. And we also have cited pages, which is the number of domain pages that are cited in AI generated answers. So that gives us an idea of how much we are showing up. Now below, if we scroll down here a little bit, we will see the topics table. Now this is really going to give us an idea of what's coming up next. What is it suggesting? What do we need to explore a little bit deeper in the AI Visibility Toolkit? So here you can see we can find hot topics for your particular brand. We can find out the competitor strategies. We can optimize the domain so that it appears more within AI search. And we can find sources where you can be published. So this is all based on the specific website that you are putting in, and it helps you build a stronger AI presence. Now, down below, we have topics and sources. And this is really going to give you a good understanding of where your brand is actually appearing. So here we can see both the topics that our brand is actually appearing for, and we can also see specific prompts that it is appearing for as well. And this will give us an idea of how often we are actually showing up. So if you want to know where your brand is currently mentioned in AI generated answers, this is the section that you want to look at. Now, next up, you have topic opportunities. So these are the prompts where your competitors are visible, but your particular brand is not. So these are more of the gaps. These are going to show you where you can grow. So if you're trying to figure out what content you need or how you can better optimize particular content that you have for specific topics or specific prompts, this is the section that you will want to use. Now, the next section that we have here is cited sources. So of course, these are the websites that the AI systems reference when generating answers, because AI does pull from different sources, not just one. So you want to make sure that the brand is appearing on different sources, and this will give you an idea of where you are currently being cited. Now, the next tab we have here is source opportunities. So just as the name suggests, these are opportunities of different places where your competitors are being mentioned, but your particular brand is not. So you can look into this to see if you are able to get mentioned within some of these particular sources in order to help improve your AI visibility. So next up is cited pages, and this is going to refer to any really content property that you have, whether it's your website, it's your blog, or some other piece of property that you have that is actually getting cited in AI generated answers. So you can see what is actually currently performing for the website and what you might want to improve on. And another thing you can do with this section is if you are actually looking for your competitors to see how they are performing, you can pop them in here. You can look at their cited pages and you'll be able to see what pages on their site are the most effective for them when it comes to appearing in AI search. And that may give you some ideas of where to start with your content as well. So on this AI visibility overview here, as a reminder, you want to check your AI visibility score to see how well you are actually performing. You want to take a look at the monthly audience that's coming in, the mentions, the cited pages here. And you also want to check out the opportunities here that will allow you to dig in a little deeper, and then being able to come down here to the section that we were looking at, see what content is currently performing for you, but making sure to pay attention to the topic opportunities here so that you can see where your brand is not showing up that it probably should, and also paying attention to these source opportunities here so you can go out and have more mentions of your brand online that AI is currently pulling from in order to gather information for their AI answers. Now, the next section we're going to take a look at is the competitor research section here below. And this is a really great way to be able to see how you stack up against the competition. And you're going to be able to compare your AI visibility against other brands that are similar to you. And so right now you can see that Semrush is adding some specific competitors that they see in the space here. You are also able to change these and add in other specific competitors that you would like to compare. So you're going to be able to add up to 4 different competitors here, as you can see. Now, within the competitor research section here, we're going to be able to look at competitor mentions to see how more often your competitors are actually mentioned. You're going to be able to look at topic and prompt gaps. So where are they actually showing up that your brand is not? You're going to be able to look at some visibility benchmarks to measure your brand's presence in AI generated answers as it compares to these 4 competitors here. And we'll also look at strategic opportunities. So what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are some opportunities? What are some additional opportunities that have more of a first mover advantage that no one is going after so that you could go after? So there is a lot of great data that you can gather within this competitor research section. So here we have already accessed this competitor research section. And now we want to do is we are going to look at what data is this giving us here. So at the top of the report, you're going to see this graph, and it is comparing, again, your domain's visibility, your audience, your mentions against the competitors that are listed. So here you'll be able to switch between the different metrics from AI visibility, the audience that they have, the mentions here to see different data and where you stand. So within AI visibility, you are looking at the benchmark score. So like when we looked at the visibility overview, we are now looking at the visibility for all of these brands here so you can see where your brand is against the competitor. Now in the audience tabs here, you can use this to get an idea, an estimate really, of the brand's exposure. So here you'll get an estimate of the total query audience across all the topics where the brand actually appears. And under mentions, this is the total number of prompts where the brand is included within AI responses. Now we can scroll below and we are going to come to the topics and prompts section here. And this is going to help us be able to find some of the strong prompts or the topics where the brand is more visible than the competitors. So this is where's your brand showing up and it's doing really well that the other brands are not. So you can see we have a little bit of an advantage, but with only 2, not a ton. So hopefully your brand over time is getting more and more of these. But we also want to take a look at the weak opportunities. Now, this site is a little bit smaller, so we're not seeing a lot of visibility across them. They're not giving us any weak suggestions. But what we can do is we can come to the missing topics and prompts section, and this is going to show us the topics or the prompts where competitors are currently cited, but your particular brand is not. So this is going to give you an idea of where are they showing up that you may want to. Of course, you want to make sure it's always relevant to the products that are being sold or the services that are being offered or the information that is being made available. So it's all relevant to the website. So this is a really good way to come up with some competitive gaps and look for just good opportunities for the brand to be able to cover some more of these topics to help them increase their visibility with AI. Now, one neat thing that you can do is when you find a topic or you find a particular prompt that you're interested in optimizing the website, the brand a little bit more for, you can use any of these monitor all prompts buttons in order to add these prompts to your prompt tracking campaign. And as you can see, it adds that in here, and then we are able to start tracking for that particular prompt. Now, if we come up a little bit and we switch from topics and prompts to sources, this is going to show you all of the domains that are cited by AI when one of these brands is mentioned in an AI response. So the missing section right here, this is going to show you which external domains are cited sources in AI answers that are mentioning your competitors, your brand's competitors, but they're not mentioning your brand. So this is really, really helpful because this gives us specific sources that are already mentioning brands just like the one that you are working on, but not you. So you can go to them and see if you can be mentioned within their source as well. So this is a great way to find potential outreach or content opportunities to start boosting the brand's visibility. So as you can see, there is a lot that you can gather here from the competitor research section. Next up, we have a really important section, and that is the prompt research section here. Now, this is a report that is going to help you discover what questions your audience is actually asking the AI platforms. And this is going to help you build a content strategy so that you show up in AI search. So if you think about SEO, what's one of the top things that you think about? Keyword research. You have to know what keywords that people are searching for. So that is exactly the equivalent here for AI is the prompt research report. So instead of keywords, you're going to explore the prompts and topics that people are asking for these AI platforms. So within this report here, you are going to be able to gauge topic demand because you're going to be able to see the total AI search volume, just like you can for keywords with SEO. Now, you're also going to be able to discover specific user questions. You're going to be able to create content that matches what the users are actually searching for. And you're going to be able to monitor your brand and the competitors' brands here as well and identify what is the top performing content when it comes to these various prompts. So here in this prompt research section, we are going to enter a topic to analyze. So we're going to pop in a topic and click analyze. Now this is going to give us a bunch of initial data here at the very top. So in the first section, the related topics AI volume, this is going to give us an estimate of the monthly AI search activity for the topics similar to what we are putting in. Now, under the topics, we can see the total number of topics that may be related to the analyzed prompt. Now, because we put in a longer term keyword, we're probably going to have less topics here, but that's okay. Now, with the prompts here, we can view the number of prompts that are really going to make up each topic. Under intent, we have a breakdown here of informational, commercial, navigational, just like you would with traditional SEO. So you can have an idea of what are people searching for? What is their intent behind that search? Are they looking to buy something? Are they looking for just general information and so forth? Now, under brands mentioned here, this is going to give you the number of unique brands that appear in the various LLM responses that relate to this specific topic. And finally, under source domains, this is the websites that are cited by AI platforms as sources in their responses. So you can see it is pulling information from 39 different sources here, and then it's telling you what are the top sources. So these metrics here are going to give you an idea of the level of demand and competition for this particular topic. So now that we've taken a look at that, we want to go a little step further and we want to analyze the related topics here. And that is what we are going to do down below. So the topics tab, as you can see here, is selected by default. And this is going to show us a table of all of the specific topic clusters related to your phrase. So again, I have a longer keyword here, so we're going to have less topics. If you put in a shorter keyword or keyword phrase, you are likely going to have more topics that are showing up here. So for each table here, you are going to be able to see the AI volume. Of course, you're going to be able to take a look at the intent breakdown. And of course, you can monitor this button, which is going to add the topic to the prompt tracking tool that we looked at before. Now, as I've just done, if you actually click on the specific prompt, it is going to expand so that we can see a list of the individual prompts that fall under that topic cluster, and you can see all of those here as well. So of course you have the prompt here, and that is what users are asking the AI. You have the AI's response, so what's their actual answer when someone searches for this prompt? And you can click on view full response in order to see the whole answer. And then you can see the number of brands that are mentioned within that response and the number of sources that are cited, meaning where is the AI going and pulling from in order to generate this AI response here. So you want to look through this table, you want to look at the different prompts and find the ones that are relevant to your business. And then if you find one that is relevant to your business here, you can click on view full response and it's going to give you more information about the actual response, but it's also going to talk about the brands that are mentioned as well as the various sources that it pulled from so you can see where it is gathering its information. Now you also have a couple of things that you can do here. The first is right here with this little icon, you can create content. So this connects with the Semrush content toolkit and it will actually start to draft the content for you so that you can add this to your website. And the next thing here is that you can monitor, as we looked at, you can send this prompt to the prompt tracking tool. So this is a great way to find out what people are searching for around topics that you find relevant to the website, what is actually showing up in AI search, where this information is coming from. This will help you know what content to create and also what sources to start getting mentioned in as well. Now, the next section of the AI Visibility Toolkit that we're going to take a look at is brand performance. So we are going to click on the very first section there, which of course is labeled brand performance. Now, this goes beyond just mentions, okay? It is crucial to know how AI platforms are actually talking about your brand. We want to analyze your share of the voice when it comes to AI answers. We want to know the sentiment. We want to know the narratives that are actually driving your specific reputation. So to do this, we're going to explore the brand performance suite to really have a better understanding of your brand's AI reputation. So we're going to start here on the brand performance dashboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to enter the domain and we are going to click analyze. And then we can select the target location. Is this a global business or brand, or are we specific to a country or even to a particular state or city? So we can pop that in here. You can select from the list or begin typing yours in. So we're going to select the country. You can also select a specific language and select get started. So this sometimes can take a few minutes to show up. So we'll pause here for just a moment. Okay, the report finished up really quickly here, and this is going to give us so much valuable information here. Now, this is going to give you a high-level summary of your brand's position in AI, and we are going to see what we can do with this information here. Now, there's a lot that is available within brand performance, so this is definitely somewhere that you're going to want to spend some time. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is that we have the different competitors here against the top, and we can even add some additional ones here if we would like to. And below, this is showing us which AI platform we are seeing the data for, and you can of course switch that here as well. So we have first up is our insights section. Now this is all AI generated information, but this is to help you with your AI strategy. So they are giving you specific actionable recommendations based on your data as to how you can start to perform better in AI search. So you're definitely going to want to spend some time here. Now, based on this website, you will see that under some of these specific recommendations, they have some different links here. Go to perception, go to narrative drivers. And you'll notice that that text here matches the other reports here under brand performance. We have perception, narrative drivers, and questions. So we are going to spend some more time over there, and I'll let you know what those mean and why you're going to want to spend some time in the report. But for now, let's take a look over here at the share of voice versus sentiment. So this is going to help you see if you have a bigger volume of mentions, if that helps you also get a better perception score when it comes to AI. So this is going to give each competitor that we have listed up here, this is going to give them a share of voice score here horizontally versus the sentiment score here vertically. Now, if we scroll down just a bit on this report, we come to another section called overall sentiment. So this is going to see the percentage of more favorable, positive, and neutral mentions for your brand that really give you a good at-a-glance view of your brand's perception. So you can see overall, this brand has a pretty good score. They're very favorable, where 21% is just kind of neutral, but mostly it's positive. And we'll learn more about this in the perception report. Now, we also have the share of voice overview here, and this is really comparing the brand's overall visibility in AI answers as compared to the competitors that are listed in this list here. So you can get an idea of who's really getting the market share of mentions. Now, under key business drivers by frequency, we can see this fun table here. This is really a heat map, okay? This is going to show you which business critical topics are mentioned most frequently for your brand versus the other competitors that we've been looking at here. So you can quickly use this to identify each brand's strengths, their weaknesses, and the topics where competitors are leading the conversation. And you'll notice here these little trophy icons. So the trophy icon represents the leader for each of these topics. So you can see who's really performing the best. And so you can see, are you performing the best? And which ones would you like to be performing better in? Now down below, we have all of the competitors broken down. So these are the competitor comparison cards. As you can see, we have our brand name here versus each of the other brand names right there. So this is going to give us really more of a side-by-side, where everything above was just kind of everybody together. This is giving us a side-by-side of each individual competitor and where we stand against them. So we're going to see key metrics in each of these comparisons here, which is going to tell us about the share of voice, the favorable sentiment percentages for each business, and then it will also tell us the business drivers by frequency. So what that is simply a detailed breakdown comparing the frequency of mentions for each of these topics that are listed here. So we can see, okay, this business here is mentioned more and they are leading the way with this topic, and we got a bit to catch up here, where we're leading here, but really not by much. And same here, they're leading, but not by too much. Where here, they're dominating this compared to us. So we can see that for each of these competitors. So now that we've talked about that, let's jump over here to the perception report. Now, this is going to look a bit familiar here, starting with the insight section, just like we saw in the brand performance report. So this overall perception report here is going to provide a detailed analysis of the sentiment to understand how AI platforms are perceiving your specific brand. And just like with the last report insights here, we are getting an AI generated strategy just as it says, and it's giving us specific things that we can do to start showing up better. Now we have a competitive perception by platform here. So this is going to compare how different AI platforms, as you can see, we can add different check marks here. Now this is going to be part of the Semrush 1 package here, but then you'd be able to check these and see based on each AI platform. So for each brand, you're going to be able to see the percentage of favorable sentiment across platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and help you see which one of these platforms see your brand in the best light here. So you can see ChatGPT really loves this particular brand, especially as it compares to some of the other brands here. Now, if we scroll down here, we also have the overall sentiment, just like we did in the last one, and favorable sentiment over time. Now, this graph tracks the percentage of favorable sentiment for your brand and the competitors over a period of time. So this is something that you need to just come back and monitor for over time. Now, below, what's interesting is that we have key sentiment drivers. So this is going to point out to us what customers consistently praise. So these are, the strengths of the brand. And then also what's kind of the recurring pain points. So what are the areas for improvement? So that tells us these are things that we really need to continue talking about. Hopefully we're going to be able to get these to show up in testimonials and reviews and content. And then when these are areas for improvement, these are things that we can specifically address, especially if we're able to overcome some of these things. So more customers trust us and we are also seen in a better light as well. Now, below here, we will see some of the AI strategic opportunities. And you'll notice that with each opportunity of what they are giving us, because you can read about each opportunity and then also the specific recommendations. Now you'll notice they also have time frames here, short, medium, urgent, so you know where to spend your time here. So let's actually now jump over to narrative drivers. Now, narrative drivers report. This is going to combine the data on visibility and citations, and it's going to show how your brand is represented in AI responses and which sources the AI platforms actually trust the most. So this is really going to help you understand the story that is being told online. So again, we have our insights section that we want to pay attention to. We can pay attention to the share of voice as we looked at as well. So when it comes to the narrative, we see that we are not performing as well as the perception there. Now, down below, we have share of voice, we have mentions, we have average position. So this share of voice tab that we are currently on helps us visualize the overall market share of mentions, which we can see over here in this donut chart. We can see the percentages, and then over time, we're going to be able to see it on this line graph here as well. Now, they will also put the top domains by citations. So this will give you the most influential domains that AI platforms cite for non-branded questions around the particular topics that you are searching for. And then below, we have the breakdown by question as well. Now, this section, this is where you're going to be able to see how your brand ranks against competitors for specific AI prompts that are really of high interest. So you can use some of these filters for the position, the competitors, if you would like to. And you see all the sections here, but you'll want to notice these tabs up here as well. So for the first one with answers non-branded, this is how you're going to grow visibility beyond direct brand searches, because this is going to show you all the searches that are non-branded queries. So that's really important that you are showing up for these, because some customers will not know about the business. And then you can look at the answers that are branded. So what are people typing in who already know about this particular brand, and what questions do they have? And are you answering that somewhere? And you want to make sure that you are, of course, coming up for that, but you want to make sure that that is getting answered and that you are driving them to take the action that you want them to once they actually have their question answered there. Now, you also have citations that are non-branded. And of course, that's what sources are actually showing up for non-branded queries. So obviously there's some work to do for that site, and also citations that are branded. So you want to be able to check the sources cited in answers to make sure that the information is in fact correct. So we have some work to do with citations. It is letting us know here. Now, lastly, in the brand performance section, we have questions. Now, the questions report, this is going to help you gain insight into your audience's intent by analyzing the questions that they ask AI. So again, we have our insights section, and we also have the topic distribution section, this nice colorful chart right up here. So this is how you are going to see the different themes that really dominate the user queries so that you can understand where you need to be focusing your content strategy. So that's really helpful for content. Now, if you scroll down a bit, you have the query intent distribution. So this is how you are going to be able to align your content with the users, with the searchers' needs by seeing whether they want to make a purchase. Are they looking to just do research? Do they need support? Where are they in this process when they are looking for this information? And then you have the intent trends over time. Again, you're going to need some time to start seeing how this fluctuates, but this graph is going to track how these intents shift over time and help you be able to spot even things like seasonal patterns, or if you have a sudden change in audience behavior for some reason, you're going to be able to spot that on this chart. And then down below, you have the query topics. And this is where you're going to be able to group actual user questions by theme. So it's going to help us break that down. And it also shows us how often each intent arises. So this is really, really useful when it comes to planning out your content and the type of content that you're creating, what searchers are not only looking for, but what is their intent for each of those queries. So you'll be able to see all of those below. Now, finally, under the next section, which is Boost and Monitor, you will see a few different options. They have Growth Actions, which is coming soon, so you'll be able to see more ways to help grow your visibility in AI search. And Semrush is always coming out with new features and new ways to help you perform even better. So if you have used Semrush, that is something that you already know. But in case you're new here, you'll often see new things, new reports that are really going to be helpful. Now, these come down to some additional tools that Semrush has. So if you have watched my original tutorial on how to improve your SEO with Semrush, we covered the site audit tool. So this is where you'd be able to pop in your domain and you would be able to start a site audit. So this is really important that you are correcting some of these technical SEO issues to help you not only perform better with traditional SEO, but also with AI search as well. Now, we looked earlier on about prompt tracking. So this is where you'll be able to come in and you'll be able to look at your position tracking as well. Now, position tracking is already a tool that they have already had, so you'll be able to refer back to my original tutorial on that. But you also see that you are now able to see more about your AI visibility through different prompts and different topics there as well. So that is really, really helpful, especially inside of your SEO dashboard here, your SEO tool. Now, lastly, we can open their content creation tools as well. So you'll have tools like their topic finder, their AI article generator, their content optimizer, all of that great stuff to help you now take the keyword research or the AI prompts that you are getting here, gather your data, create your content plan, and then be able to also create that inside Semrush as well. So by going through the AI Visibility Toolkit here, exploring these reports, this is going to help you build a comprehensive strategy to measure, to improve, and really be able to protect your brands, your clients' brands' visibility in AI search. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope this is something that you sign up, you try out, so you can see just how well your brand is represented in AI search. Any questions at all about Semrush's AI Visibility Toolkit, don't hesitate to drop the questions down below, and I am happy to help. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.